Hey everyone, it's Charlie, and today we're going to talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I chose this learning theory because it's a motivational theory, and I love motivation. And I also agree with it. Maslow, he believed that humans' behavior is driven by their needs, and he also believed that they pursue the needs in a hierarchical fashion, and that these needs are the motivation in order to reach their goal. So the level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there's 5 of them. There's physiological, safety, love, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. And Maslow believed that the most basic would be physiological, which we all agree. And then he also believed, though, that in order to move from one need to the next, you would have to completely fulfill the one need. He said, "It is quite true that man lives by bread alone when there is no bread. But what happens to a man's desires when there is plenty of bread and when his belly is chronically filled?" So he is talking about the motivation. So physiological needs, I went ahead and broke these down so that way we could better understand the needs, and then we could talk about how we could apply it to students. So according to Maslow, the physiological need is the most basic, and it is. It's food, water, sleep, and shelter. Then we have safety needs, and this is also a basic need, and it's when a human feels secure and safe in the environment. Love, belonging. So this is a psychological need. Maslow believed that love and belonging needs are fulfilled by relationships. The relationships can be friends and family, or it can also be your intimate relationships. Esteem needs. So this is also a psychological need. So strong self-esteem, getting recognition, achieving the respect of others. And then we have the self-actualization need, and this is the highest level of Maslow's hierarchy. And this is when one's meeting goals or experiencing growth and self-fulfillment. So how does Maslow's theory apply to educators and students? Communication with the students. So making sure that we're establishing communication, we're also having a trusting relationship, and we're providing a safe learning environment. These are more Maslow is more based on the student-teacher relationship than it is more on the curriculum, which is a little bit different. But he is also, on how we're promoting their motivation. So Alpher, he took Maslow's theory and he extended it. So, and over here, and it talks about the psychological needs. So psychological, what would it look like for the educator? How would we help the student making sure they're learning what they need? So physiological, that we can make sure that the learning environment is comfortable. Maybe the temperature is right, not too cold, not too hot, allowing breaks so they could get a snack. If they're hungry, then they're not going to be able to listen. Or if they're thirsty, they can't listen. Or if they even need to go to the bathroom. So just making sure that they are getting those breaks. I've also heard, I think it is, that students, when something goes on for too long, a lecture or a video, they will no longer, they just shut down. They don't, past a certain point, they cannot learn anymore. So just making sure that we are assessing that learning environment and making sure that we're meeting those psychological, and also those include the physiological needs as well. And then when they're feeling safe and secure. So we talk about all the time as an educator, making sure that the learning environment is safe. What happens in the classroom? Is it going to stay in the classroom? If it is, and no one's outside discussing other students' failures, or the educator's not running students down, they are going to learn more. They are going to be motivated to learn more. They're going to be motivated to create a relationship with the educator. Love and belonging. So does the student feel that they belong in the class? So as an educator, we need to be establishing that trusting relationship, that we do believe they can succeed, that they do belong in that course. They have obviously passed all the other requirements to be in that course. So yes, they do belong there. So we need to respect that student. We need to make sure that we are helping them stay motivated through our behavior towards the student. Esteem. So are they learning the right things? Are you, when you're feeling that love and belonging and making sure that you are respecting them, and you're having that respectful relationship, and then that is going to help create that esteem too. They're going to have higher self-esteem through that relationship, and they're going to be able to obtain those goals better. Also, students need to look within themselves. This is not something we can do for them, but we can encourage them to be the best that they can be, so that they can reach that goal. And it's also good to encourage them, hey, you've came this far, you can reach the next goal. So, because our, excuse me, our goal as an educator is to help the student progress, and we want our students to be motivated. And this, using Maslow's theory, and then Alfred, how he extended the Maslow, helps us to promote this learning environment that will help them reach that self-actualization goal, that they will graduate, they will become an RN, and that is definitely important in the environment. So Maslow believed that if you don't meet the most basic need, you cannot progress. And even if somebody is motivated, if they're not meeting that need, then they're not going to progress. So we can agree that students will not progress unless they are meeting those needs, establishing those relationships, feeling supported, and then gaining that self-esteem, and then reaching those goals. So it's definitely more based on motivation, and it's also based on creating those relationships to help them meet those goals. And then here's my references.